All right, so it's Christmas night, and Kaylee went to bed, so I ran out to see the Anaconda meta remake. This thing was like super meta. And this was. So, if you aren't familiar with the original is about a documentary crew that goes out to film a lost Aboriginal tribe, and along the way, they run into a big snake. They then try to shift, and they're filming that. And then, of course, that's that movie. And now we have a group of like actors, wannabe filmmakers, kind of people who find out they have the rights to Anaconda and that they're going to guerrilla style film an Anaconda reboot, uh, which of course this movie is about the making of. That's a meta remake of the JLo movie, which is actually the meta remake of the JLo movie that we're watching, right? So ridiculous. Okay, yeah. Is this horror? No. Is there any horror in it? Sure, of course. I mean, it's an Anaconda movie. There's a snake that's pursuing after them, and some of the scenes are definitely done kind of like a cheesy shark movie. Um, but yeah, I mean, for the most part, by and large, this, of course, is a comedy, first and foremost, and then like action adventure, and then horror is like teeny, teeny, tiny little bits. Um, okay, so I was reminded of a few things while watching this. So, like, number one, I remember Peter Jackson's King Kong, which I'm a big fan of, and you have Jack Black in that, who plays this filmmaker who wants to go shoot practically on Skull Island, and so he takes a crew, like a cast and crew, to kind of guerrilla style film make out in the wild, runs into an Aboriginal tribe, which is funny, and because that's obviously similar-ish to this, and then gets a encounters larger than life animals that should be much smaller than they actually are in the events in which he runs into them. So there is some similarities there for sure. Also, another Jack Black film. This definitely had a feel and comedy stylings of something like Jumanji, the Jumanji reboot with Jack Black. So I feel like if you're into that kind of movie, then you probably the Jumanji thing, not King Kong. King Kong is far superior to this. Yeah, you've got Jack Black, Paul Rudd, Steve Zahn, Thandie Newton. Love to see Steve Zahn. Um, it's it's goofy. I mean, the jokes are exactly what you expect. Some of them are more ridiculous than I maybe expected them to be at times. But yeah, this is a PG-13 meta remake of a already like comically silly B movie from the 90s starring J-Lo and Ice Cube and John Voight doing a very silly accent. So what exactly do you expect? Yeah, this has some cameos in it. I think one has already been ruined because somebody was like, "Oh, this person's in it," and I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that." Makes sense, but that's what I would have figured. But there is that, of course. As far as like, yeah, the humor goes, I don't know. I mean, I didn't laugh much. I was in the theater pretty much by myself. There were two other people below me, but this was a massive theater. And funny enough, I checked another showtime 15 minutes before this, and it was a very small theater, and it was like pretty much sold out. There was one seat left, and I couldn't get the seat to load to check out. And I was like, all right, fuck it. And I found this one 15 minutes later, and it was massive, and there was only 2 seats sold. And I was like, man, you should have taken that theater and pushed them over to this one, because that would have made much more sense anyway. Yeah, the comedy in it is just very goofy, very like winky, that kind of shit. And I don't know, it definitely feels, and there's a lot of meta-ness to it for sure, because they're almost kind of poking fun at themselves within it, talking about Hollywood and how it's run out of ideas, and they kind of go into these productions half-cocked and don't really know what they're doing, and IP is king, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think if you're like a fan of like a Jumanji, right, if you're like a fan of the original Anaconda, is that movie necessary to watch before this one? Yeah, maybe. There's definitely a good amount of references to it in here for sure, but you're obviously not going to be lost. You wouldn't be lost anyways. There's a lot of things that just kind of are resolved in this movie and kind of forgotten about, that I was pretty surprised by. I was like, oh, we're just, okay, that character is gone. Okay, this character's out of the movie now. Okay, interesting. And I kept thinking, like, they're going to come back. No, they're not. So that was odd. It's all really just setups for the jokes, and I will say the movie definitely felt like it had a bigger budget, for sure. I mean, they definitely had a good amount of faith. But as I was trying to say earlier, and then didn't really follow through on that, do I think like fans of Anaconda should be like psyched for this and wanting to go see it? Not really. This is not much like Anaconda. This is a very goofy comedy reimagining meta sequel to an already silly, serious though. Like, Anaconda is just one of those B movies that, I don't know, it is kind of like sincere and earnest in its approach. Like, Jennifer Lopez is definitely like trying to give like a solid performance, as is Jon Voight, as is Eric Stoltz, as is everybody in the movie. So it's a very serious film. It just comes off as pretty goofy. And this movie is much, much, much more goofy, but very aware of it. So, I don't know. Did I like this? It was fine. It's fine. I'm not a massive comedy fan. I'm also not a comedy hater. But the comedy in this is just, I don't know. There was a bunch of stuff in here that just felt lazy to me. It just felt like this was kind of thrown together. Like, oh, we are, we have this IP. Who can we grab? Who's box office draw right now that can make a movie like this and make it work, right? So I feel like Jack Black is kind of the go-to for a lot of these things, and Paul Rudd as well. But Jack Black, whether it's Super Mario or Minecraft or Jumanji or whatever, it's just like throw him in it, and you got at least some draw there and some talent behind it. And I like Jack Black. I like Steve Zahn. I like Paul Rudd. I like Thandie Newton. I like everybody here. It's okay. It's fine. It's a serviceable, comedic, meta reboot, sequel, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So anyway, it's 2 a.m. I should probably go to bed. So yeah, I watched it. Anaconda. I also, thanks for the feedback, because I just did a spoiler discussion for the original Anaconda, and I got a lot of people saying how much they love, or at least really liked, the sequel, The Hunt for the Blood Orchid. Is that what that one's called? I have seen it. I don't remember it, but there was a good amount of praise for that one. Like, hey, no, that's the one you gotta watch. So stay tuned. Maybe I'll cover that one as well. The next 2 after that, no. Those have like 2 something on IMDb. No fucking way. But if everyone's loving this Hunt for the Blood Orchid that much, then I'll give it a shot. Refresh my memory, so to speak, since I have seen it once upon a time. At least I thought I did. I'm pretty positive I did. In fact, I might have even seen 3 and 4, knowing me. So that's it. It's goofy. It's not really like, I don't know. Like, this is definitely one of those movies that you like take the family to. This is a silly, goofy film for the family. What a weird thing to exist, though. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of another franchise that's taken a movie that's serious and then made like a goofy remake on purpose, like comedic reboot. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it exists, and I'll probably be like, oh yeah, duh, this one after. But anyway, I'm babbling. I gotta go to bed. Good night, guys.